It is that time of year again. Metro Council is looking at their budget for 2026. So we're going to break this down for residents here in Davidson County. We have Metro Council member and Budget and Finance Chair lead Delicia Porterfield to talk about this. So I just want to put this in a way that is easy to understand, because taking a look at the numbers and the dates, it can all get a little confusing, to put it simply. So what would you like residents to know first and foremost about the budget plan for this upcoming year?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for this opportunity. So the budget process is always a extremely complicated process, but we do try to make it as transparent as possible. So starting next week, we will have our public budget hearings down at the Metro Courthouse. The hearings start at 4 p.m. every day. We will have 18 departments before us over the course of 6 days, and that runs Monday through Thursday. So in essence, we bring those departments in, we talk to them about their budget needs and what's in the mayor's budget, and we also hear from them about any additional needs that they may have. That process is done as we are evaluating what I'll put in the substitute budget. As the budget chair, I offer a substitute budget to the mayor's budget each year. Another big thing for people to know is that it is a reappraisal year, so I'm sure people have started to get those reappraisal notices, and when we go through that reappraisal process, that means that we do adjust the tax rate. So we have to adjust the tax rate down to make sure that it is revenue neutral when we are looking at just the reassessment and how much people are paying in taxes. So throughout this budget process, we will also determine what the actual tax rate will be.
Absolutely. And that looks at property tax revenue, is that right?
Property taxes.
Okay, so this is an adjustment to make sure that you're not cutting anything. You're not cutting services, schools, or safety. I understand that's a priority.
Absolutely. So there are kind of two different things that we do when we're looking at that. One, the state requires us to be revenue neutral so that we don't get a windfall when we do a reappraisal, because your property values go up. We want to make sure that the city is not just like getting an influx of cash from that. So we actually bring the property tax rate down to make sure that it is revenue neutral. So we're bringing in the same amount of money. But because the cost of services go up the same way that it costs more for eggs this year than last year, when those costs of services go up, we do have to adjust the rate some to make sure that we're bringing in enough money so that we don't have to cut those critical services like safety and schools and services in our community. Absolutely.
So a lot of meetings that folks can get involved, listen in, see what the top priorities are, and make their voices heard as well in this. And we know a lot of people are seeing active changes in their property value throughout Davidson County. So thank you for that. And real quick before we close, I also wanted to mention Nashville has been seeing ICE activity recently. We just want to hear, as a representative of the city on Metro Council, your reaction, the reaction of council, and even though this is a federal operation, what role, if any, does or can the council play?
Yeah, thank you for that. It is obviously, it's heartbreaking, it's terrifying. We've seen people get caught up in these raids, regardless of your documentation or your status in this country. These raids can impact and cause harm and terror to all of us. It's unacceptable. We want to do everything we can to protect our residents. As far as council's direct role, obviously we cannot, have a interference with what's happening on a federal level. But council is making sure and wanted to hold all of our departments accountable to make sure that there is no collaboration with our departments, to make sure that our departments are not assisting in these efforts. We want to make sure to keep all Nashvillians safe. So that is the priority of council. We're actually having a special call public health and safety meeting tomorrow at 4 p.m. at the chambers to discuss what's been going on and to also make sure that we have a very clear understanding of the roles of our departments and to make sure that they're not assisting or causing harm.
Thank you for that. And I know we had a lot of dates in there, so we'll be sure to put this all on our website, WKRN.com as well. Again, those budget hearings start on May 12th, so we'll be following this process. It's all going to come to a close on June 30th when this is going to be presented in full. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll send it over the weather.